Why are some of the best-built cars also the cheapest on the used market? While everyone rushes to buy the usual names, a handful of reliable, well-equipped, and underappreciated vehicles are being quietly overlooked, and that means serious savings for you. Which cars are flying under the radar? What makes them so dependable? And how much could you actually save by picking one up today? Let's kick things off with a vehicle that had the right engineering but the wrong timing, the Honda Crosstour. The Honda Crosstour is a car most people didn't quite understand when it launched. It was built on the same platform as the Honda Accord, but came with a taller ride height and a sloping rear liftback. It wasn't a typical sedan, nor was it a full sport utility vehicle. That confusion led to weak sales, and eventually, Honda discontinued it. But the car itself was far from a failure. In fact, it's one of the best value used cars you can find today. The Crosstour's liftback design gives it much more usable cargo space than the sedan it's based on. It's not massive, but it's practical. Fold down the rear seats and you can easily load up camping gear, groceries, or travel bags. And the rear hatch opens wide, making it easy to access. It fits that middle ground between sedan comfort and sport utility vehicle practicality, which was the goal all along. Inside, the Crosstour feels well put together. Depending on the trim, you'll find heated leather seats, a sunroof, dual-zone climate control, and even a navigation system. The materials and layout are typical of Honda: solid, clean, and built to last. For the price, it delivers more comfort than many expect. Engine choices included a 2.4-liter four-cylinder and a more powerful 3.5-liter V6. The four-cylinder is economical and fine for city driving, but the V6 turns the Crosstour into a capable highway cruiser. It makes over 270 horsepower, and some V6 models came with all-wheel drive, rare in a Honda sedan-based platform. Because demand was never strong, resale values dropped fast. Today, you can pick up a well-maintained Crosstour for anywhere between $3,000 and $8,000. That's a serious bargain for a car with Honda's reputation for longevity and parts availability. But if you're looking for something that adds excitement behind the wheel without breaking the bank, the next car should be on your radar. The Mazda 6 has always been an underdog in the mid-size sedan market. It competes with the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry but offers a more dynamic driving experience. Why didn't it take off? Mostly because it wasn't positioned as a typical family car. Mazda leaned into sportiness and sleek styling, which didn't attract the mass-market buyers looking for plain reliability. But for those who enjoy the feel of the road, the Mazda 6 is a hidden gem. Its sharp steering and balanced chassis make it genuinely fun to drive. Whether you're on a daily commute or heading down a winding back road, the Mazda 6 handles with confidence. That's no accident. Mazda's engineering focus has always been on driver engagement, and it shows here. You have two engine options. The standard 2.5-liter four-cylinder delivers 187 horsepower. It's smooth and efficient. But the turbocharged version of that same engine, available in higher trims, is where things really get interesting. It makes up to 250 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque when using premium fuel. That kind of output pushes the Mazda 6 into performance sedan territory, without the price tag. Inside, it feels more refined than most of its competitors. Soft-touch materials, a clean dashboard layout, and available leather seats give it an upscale feel. In later models, you'll also find tech like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and a premium Bose sound system, features that were once only found in much more expensive vehicles. Thanks to its lower brand recognition and faster depreciation, the Mazda 6 is now a great deal. A well-maintained example from the year 2018 often sells for between $11,000 and $20,000, less than what you'd pay for a comparable Accord or Camry from the same year. Now, if you want something even more flexible, a car you can hose down after a camping trip or load with bikes and still take to work comfortably, the next pick is a no-brainer. The Honda Element might just be the most practical car nobody talks about anymore. Launched in the early 2000s, the Element was unlike anything else on the road. It was boxy, yes, but by design. The upright shape maximized interior space, and it was marketed towards young, active drivers who needed utility without bulk. It never hit mainstream popularity, But for those who owned one, it became a lifelong favorite. The Element's clamshell-style rear doors open wide, giving you easy access to the cabin. Inside, you'll find fold-up or removable rear seats and a completely flat load floor. That makes it incredibly versatile for transporting bikes, dogs, camping equipment, or even small furniture. The floors are rubberized and the upholstery is water-resistant, so cleaning it is a breeze. Under the bonnet is a 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine. It's not a powerhouse, but it's reliable and easy to maintain. Some models also came with all-wheel drive, which gives you added confidence in wet or slippery conditions. Like many Hondas from the same era, the Element is known for longevity. Owners regularly report over 200,000 miles with only routine maintenance. Today, Honda Elements are still out there, especially on the used market. You can find them priced between $5,000 and $12,000 depending on the condition and mileage. The key is patience. Since they weren't produced in large numbers, good ones tend to sell quickly. If you live an active lifestyle or just want something simple, durable, and endlessly useful, the Element is worth the search. But maybe what you really need is all-wheel drive in a more traditional sedan form, something that blends safety, comfort, and all-weather capability. In that case, there's another sleeper pick to consider next. Coming up next, the Subaru Legacy from the year 2012 is one of the best-kept secrets for drivers who want all-wheel drive without stepping into an expensive sport utility vehicle. While most used car buyers flock to models like the Toyota Camry or Honda Accord, the Legacy quietly offers something they don't: standard symmetrical all-wheel drive across all trims. That's not an optional upgrade. It's built in, and it works beautifully in all weather conditions. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system delivers a balanced and consistent flow of power to all four wheels, which helps with traction on wet, snowy, or loose surfaces. That kind of confidence on the road is hard to find in sedans from this segment, especially without paying extra. What makes the 2012 model stand out is that it still offers this level of capability in a traditional mid-size sedan layout. No bulky shape, no massive weight. Under the bonnet, the standard 2.5-liter horizontally opposed four-cylinder engine provides 170 horsepower. It's not built for speed, but it's smooth, efficient, and contributes to a low center of gravity, which improves handling. Subaru's engineering focus has always been about stability, and this engine layout supports that. For those who want more punch, there's also a 6-cylinder version available, offering stronger acceleration without sacrificing the all-wheel drive benefits. Inside, the Legacy is roomy and comfortable. The front and rear seats provide plenty of legroom, and the boot is surprisingly spacious for a sedan. It's not flashy, but it's functional, durable, and built to last. Subaru may not compete on interior luxury, but it wins in practicality. Best of all, prices for this model have remained low, partly due to the rise of crossovers. You can now find a well-maintained 2012 Subaru Legacy for somewhere between $6,000 and $12,000. That makes it one of the most cost-effective all-wheel drive sedans available today. Anyone looking for something more compact, lively behind the wheel, and impressively fuel-efficient will want to take a closer look at the next car on our list. The Mazda 3 from the year 2013 doesn't get nearly the attention it deserves. While compact cars are often seen as boring commuter tools, this one breaks the mold. It's small, sure, but it delivers a genuinely engaging driving experience that rivals more expensive cars. Most people in the used car market looking at this segment tend to focus on economy, but the Mazda 3 manages to deliver both efficiency and fun without compromise. The steering is tight and responsive, and the suspension is tuned for balance and control. That means it feels planted through corners without being uncomfortable on daily commutes. This is the kind of car that makes even a short trip feel more enjoyable than it has any right to be. It's often compared to higher-end vehicles in terms of handling, which says a lot about the way Mazda approached its design. Under the bonnet, it came with a couple of engine options, but the standout is the 2.0-liter Skyactiv engine, which was introduced around this time. It offered excellent fuel efficiency, up to 39 miles per gallon on the highway, without sacrificing too much in terms of performance. That's an ideal balance for anyone looking to keep running costs low while still enjoying their time behind the wheel. The interior, while not luxurious, is solid and well built. The controls are laid out logically. The materials feel durable, and there's a good amount of tech for a car in this class and price range. You get basics like Bluetooth connectivity, available navigation, and supportive seating that holds up over long drives. Because it flies under the radar, used Mazda 3 models from this generation remain affordable. You can typically find one for between $7,000 and $11,000, depending on trim level and mileage. That's a strong deal for a compact car that's more than just basic transportation. For those drawn to a more refined driving experience, something that feels upscale without the luxury badge, the next car stands out as a smart, underrated choice. The Lexus ES from the year 2011 is a luxury sedan that few people consider on the used market, but it absolutely deserves more attention. It offers the comfort and refinement you'd expect from a premium brand, but with the long-term reliability of Toyota engineering underneath. For buyers who want a quiet, cushioned ride and upscale materials without the constant worry of high maintenance costs, this model is an ideal choice. What sets the Lexus ES apart from many of its European competitors is its focus on smoothness and comfort over performance. It's not trying to be sporty, it's designed to be serene. The suspension soaks up road imperfections effortlessly. The cabin is exceptionally well insulated from outside noise, and the V6 engine under the bonnet operates with near silence. That engine, a 3.5-liter unit, produces just over 260 horsepower and delivers more than enough power for highway merging and city driving alike. Inside, the Lexus ES is where it really shines. High-quality materials are used throughout the cabin, from the dash to the door panels. Leather seats come standard in most trims, and features like dual-zone climate control, a premium sound system, and available navigation make the car feel more expensive than it actually is. Even after more than a decade, the design still holds up in terms of comfort and usability. On the used market, this model represents excellent value. Prices for a clean, well-maintained 2011 Lexus ES generally fall between $8,000 and $14,000. That's a small price to pay for a vehicle that delivers a luxury experience with minimal long-term headache. If you've always wanted the experience of driving something refined and smooth but didn't want to pay luxury car repair bills, the Lexus ES quietly does it all. And if you prefer something with a bit more athleticism while keeping those same values, there's another name you should know, Acura. The Acura TSX from the year 2009 is one of those rare vehicles that finds the sweet spot between sportiness and refinement. It's not loud or flashy, but it delivers a quietly confident driving experience that leaves many surprised. Built on a platform that shares DNA with European Hondas, the TSX offers tight handling, a premium interior, and a strong reliability record, all wrapped in a sleek and understated design. From the driver's seat, the TSX feels like a proper sports sedan. The steering is precise, the suspension is well tuned for cornering, and the chassis remains composed even when pushed. It may not be the fastest car in its class, but it's one of the most enjoyable to drive day to day. Whether you're commuting or taking the long way home, it keeps you engaged without sacrificing comfort. Under the bonnet, you'll typically find a 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine producing 201 horsepower. It's paired with either a 5-speed automatic or a 6-speed manual transmission, which is a rare and welcome option in this class. The engine is known for its smooth power delivery and durability, and many owners report clocking well over 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Step inside and you'll find a cabin that feels more upscale than its price suggests. Leather seating, dual-zone climate control, a sunroof, and a premium sound system were common features. The layout is clean and intuitive, and build quality is typical of Honda's upper-tier vehicles. It's the kind of car that still looks and feels relevant, even years later. Today, the TSX remains surprisingly affordable. Used examples from 2009 in good condition usually range between $6,000 and $10,000. That makes it an excellent buy for anyone who wants a well-equipped, fun-to-drive car with a proven track record of reliability. Drivers who value space, everyday practicality, and long-distance comfort without stepping into a bulky sport utility vehicle will find our next pick surprisingly well-suited to their needs. The Ford Flex from the year 2014 might look unusual, but beneath its boxy shape lies one of the most practical and comfortable vehicles on the market. It blends the best traits of a minivan and a sport utility vehicle without fully committing to either, which is exactly why it flew under the radar for so long. Its styling is polarizing, and that's one reason resale values have stayed low. But for the right buyer, that's a massive plus. What makes the Flex stand out is its interior layout. It offers 3 rows of seating with plenty of space for up to 7 passengers. The second row can be configured with either a bench or captain's chairs, and both the second and third rows fold flat, turning the rear into a huge cargo area. Whether you're hauling luggage for a road trip, taking kids to school, or making a run to the hardware store, the Flex handles it with ease. Under the bonnet, you have 2 engine choices. The base model comes with a 3.5-liter V6 producing 287 horsepower. But the real surprise is the available EcoBoost version of that same engine, which is twin turbocharged and puts out an impressive 365 horsepower. For a large family vehicle, that kind of power is uncommon, and it makes highway driving feel effortless. All-wheel drive was also available, adding extra stability in bad weather. The ride quality is smooth, the cabin is quiet, and visibility is excellent. Inside, you'll find features like a touchscreen infotainment system, rear climate controls, and optional leather seats. It's a great long-distance cruiser, and its low step-in height makes it easier for kids and older passengers to get in and out. Today, the Ford Flex remains a bargain. Well-kept models from 2014 are usually listed between $7,000 and $16,000. That's a solid deal for a vehicle this spacious and well-equipped. If you're looking for a used car that blends style, comfort, and surprisingly strong reliability, the Hyundai Azera from the year 2012 is one you probably never considered. And that's exactly why it's so affordable today. The Azera was Hyundai's attempt to move into the near-luxury space, positioned above the Sonata. It came with a refined design, a smooth ride, and a long list of standard features. But it never really caught on, and that lack of popularity has turned into a massive price advantage for used buyers. Under the bonnet, the Azera comes with a 3.3-liter V6 engine producing 293 horsepower. It's powerful, smooth, and paired with a 6-speed automatic transmission that delivers respectable fuel economy for its class, averaging around 29 miles per gallon on the highway. It may not be as sporty as some competitors, but what it offers is effortless cruising and quiet, comfortable highway manners. Inside, you get premium features that were rarely standard in other sedans of the time. Leather upholstery, heated and ventilated front seats, dual-zone climate control, and a large touchscreen infotainment system all came included. The rear seat is spacious enough for adult passengers to stretch out comfortably, and the boot offers solid cargo capacity. Overall, the cabin delivers a premium feel without the premium badge. Today, the 2012 Hyundai Azera is overlooked, which means you can find clean, low-mileage examples between $6,000 and $10,000. For a car that competes with vehicles nearly twice the price when new, that's a serious bargain. However, if you prefer something a bit smaller and even more efficient, the next model might just be one of the most ignored practical cars on the market. The Chevrolet Sonic from the year 2015 is one of those cars that few people talk about, but it checks a lot of boxes for daily driving. Affordable, efficient, easy to park, and surprisingly fun with the right engine, it quietly served as a practical choice for first-time buyers, students, and city dwellers. But because it never became a bestseller, used prices remain well below the average for compact cars. The Sonic came in both sedan and hatchback variants, with the hatchback offering a bit more personality and utility. What makes it stand out is the available 1.4-liter turbocharged engine, producing 138 horsepower and offering decent low-end torque. Paired with either a 6-speed manual or automatic transmission, this version of the Sonic delivers punchy performance while still returning up to 40 miles per gallon on the highway. The interior is simple but functional. Later models offered a 7-inch touchscreen with smartphone integration, Bluetooth connectivity, and even a rear-view camera. While materials were basic, the build quality held up better than many expected. It also earned strong safety ratings at the time, which makes it a solid option for younger drivers or as a second vehicle. One of Sonic's biggest strengths is its affordability. Even low-mileage models from the year 2015 typically sell between $5,000 and $9,000. And because the turbocharged version isn't as well known, you can often find it at the same price as the base model, with better performance and economy. In a market flooded with expensive used cars, the Sonic stands out by offering exactly what most people need: reliable, fuel-efficient transportation with just enough personality to make the drive interesting. It's not flashy, but it gets the job done, and it does so for far less than many of its rivals. These overlooked cars prove that value isn't always found in the spotlight. While most buyers chase the familiar names, those who dig a little deeper can uncover vehicles that offer more for less, more features, more reliability, and more driving enjoyment, all at a lower price. From practical hatchbacks to refined sedans and spacious family haulers, these hidden gems deliver where it matters most. So if you're shopping smart, skip the hype and look where others aren't. You might just end up with a better car for thousands less, and a decision you'll feel good about every time you drive it. With that, we have reached the end of today's video. If you have come this far with us, be sure to check out other videos on the channel.